Alright, what is up everyone, and welcome. It is now 2021. 2020 is over and everything's gonna be perfect. We're all gonna be fine. Actually, that couldn't be further from the truth. But a lot of things did happen in the last year. A lot of kind of big things happened in the last year. Things that really made a difference in my animals' lives and what I'll be able to do here on the channel. Had a lot of good adventures over the last year. I couldn't thank you guys enough for subscribing, for following, for sharing these videos. You guys made this happen. I mean, this wouldn't have happened without you guys. So I really appreciate everybody that watches the channel. Moving forward in 2021, we're gonna be doing a lot more of what we did last year. But I think we're gonna do it bigger. We're gonna do it better. Always high definition, plenty of turtles jumping. Gonna be plenty of high definition video. I'm gonna keep trying to push it, keep trying to bring you high quality video of what you want to see: turtles, reptiles, private enclosures, private setups, and how people are basically doing what I'm doing, and everybody does it in a different way. You guys really responded well to the videos I did with Charlie, my friend Kevin, Cody from Swamp Life, a lot of guys. So you guys like that content, I'm gonna bring you more. So moving forward, I also have a lot of things I'm going to do here. I'm going to be adding on to enclosures I've already built. I'm going to be doing a lot more how-tos and sharing with you guys how I do things and things that might, work well for you. Plan on doing some redfoot and cherry head enclosures. We're going to build a small stream. We're going to be building a setup for the common snappers and kind of trying to restore. I don't really have much grass left here, so we're going to be trying to restore some of that as well. And making a nice grazing area for the sulcatas. So a lot of things to happen, a lot of things to change, and always moving forward though. Always move forward, that's my thing. So anyway, I'm really excited for what we're gonna do this year. A lot of adventures, a lot more herping. I'm gonna take you guys a lot more underwater video. I love doing that. I think last year I did it a little bit, but not as much as I wanted to do. And we're gonna end up getting to see a lot more things. That you guys really like the alligator snapping turtles, so do I. So I'm going to show you where they like to hide. We're going to go underwater with them. Sulcata's taking a dirt nap, and just kind of share with you guys as much as I can, and I'm really excited about it. Today it's actually a nice day. It's January 2nd, I believe. I didn't look at the calendar. But we're here in the mid 60s and sunny, so the turtles are able to kind of get out and get that solar radiation, and it really warms them up. So all the natives are starting to kind of pop up from their little brumation sites. The cooters are starting to come up from the bottom. That leaf litter that I use on the bottom of the ponds, it acts as like a thermal blanket, and so they stay nice and warm. The pond never really iced over to speak of, and now they're coming up and they're basking and they're interacting with each other. It's really cool to watch. The box turtles as well are starting to come up from the dense piles of leaf litter and mulch that I made for them, and they're starting to walk around and kind of hang out in the sun. It's really cool to watch these guys. Native turtles will take advantage of nice days, and likewise, just like this guy here, I bring out the tortoises. I hate keeping them cooped up in the winter. If they get a chance to get out, get some fresh air, I bring them out. But when it does dip down cold, I bring them in the afternoon. So they just kind of get like an extended recess outside, and it's good for them. It gives them that natural sunlight, boosts their little vitamin D levels. They get to nibble on some grasses. Bumpy is over there eating on something. I don't know. Yeah, he's eating on stuff and he's getting a drink. So that's really cool to see. The Aquascape pond is humming right along. It's really neat to kind of watch that thing evolve and become more of an ecosystem just with each week. There's more like kind of algae forming on the bottom. The snails and stuff are starting to take off. I've slowly been introducing more fish into it, and that's been neat as well, because I do little bits here and there. The very first fish that went in there were my 2 spotted gar, and after introducing them, I started to introduce things like sunfish and bluegill. Then I introduced, I got a bunch of shiners, the different types of shiners, introduced those guys into here, some mosquito fish, and then recently I put 1 koi in here to kind of handle the heavy job of eating on some of this algae. So it's all good. I'm pretty excited about it. it's fun to watch this thing just organically grow and become more and more of a habitat. So likewise, these other enclosures, like here, the alligator snapping turtle pond, you know, if you remember in the spring and summer, this thing was filled with water hyacinth and it was all green and covered. And if you look at it now, the water hyacinth is dying off, it's sinking to the bottom, and I'm allowing it to stay in there during the winter because it's not going to rot or break down while it's cold, and it acts as, again, like my other ponds, a thermal blanket for the snapping turtles down in here. And just like the other turtles, even the snappers will occasionally come up on these warm winter days. And as you can see here, this girl is taking advantage of that sun. She's coming up and she's kind of laying, just letting those rays hit her, kind of get warmed up with those, you know, thermal radiation rays. And it obviously feels good. I mean, she lays in it, closes her eyes, and seems pretty relaxed. I don't touch them or really bother them when they do that because they are still in kind of that state of brumation. Even though they get slightly active, their body is still in that mode, and you really don't want to disturb that. Also have a basking cooter right here. She's got a big hunk of water hyacinth on her back, which looks pretty good. Yeah. Okay, I won't bother you. Did have like part of my fence collapse, so I'll be working on fixing that. The Russian tortoises are in here, and I don't think, see if I see any peeking out, but yeah, I don't see them peeking out right now. I'm gonna empty out this water dish, put some fresh water in their water dish in a minute. And but these guys, you know, they kind of go into a pretty deep brumation. It takes a lot of, it would have to be in the 70s or 80s for these guys to kind of come out of where they're at. They go really far down in this little bunker that I've made for them. So I'm not really likely to see them come out, but around March and April, you'll start to see them poke up. And the funny thing is in March, they'll go in here and they'll dig a burrow, but then they'll pop up over there or back there. They make these tunnels, and it's the coolest thing. And I don't think they really get a lot of credit for being as good of diggers as they actually are. Check behind our little tin here. Nope, nobody hanging out there. So if you have your turtles housed outside and you're in a climate such as mine where you get semi-mild winters, if your turtles are outside, they're probably doing what mine are doing. They're probably enjoying these mild winter days. But if you live in a climate like mine, and you have, you know, these days that are, you know, decent, you can put your tortoises out there, give them some kind of supervised time in the sun. Again, that sun is going to hit them, and they're going to get a lot warmer than the air temperature. So right now the air temperature is about 65 to 67 degrees, and their shell temperature is going to be probably mid 70s, almost 80s when they sit in the sun, which is really awesome. And it's one of those things that reptiles have just adapted to. You know, you've got these guys basking over here, that dark colored shell raises their temperature. A great example is painted turtles. Now they're thin and they're dark in color, so when they come up to the surface, they warm up really, really fast. That's one of the things that adapts them so well to living in northern climates and cooler areas. So anyway, guys, just wanted to touch base with you, kind of let you know what's going on. A lot of things coming in 2020. Excited to kind of do some product reviews. One of my next videos is going to be reviewing some products, and I want to touch on some things that, you know, any of you can purchase that work really, really well, things that I like to depend on, and I'll be kind of sharing that with you guys. So hope you're doing well. Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Peace.